I'm gonna start the record. Okay.
What?
Wait, got it.
Awesome. So thanks again for accepting the interview, Dennis and Eleanor. I'm so thrilled about Tears of Magic. Breath of Fire is my favorite JRPG series. So I've been lurking you guys for quite some time on Twitter and Discord. And as soon as you open up the Kickstarter, I just read through and through all the description. So thanks for being here with me.
You're welcome.
So can you tell me a little about Good Old Pixel? It's your studio, right? Your game studio. How it came to be and what you guys are intending to do with it.
Yeah, it started with a project she was planning to make a game some long time ago, like resurrecting her dream, her childhood, and then she invited me to join the project. Like, code for me.
It was basically coming to him and I said, you can code, right? You are a, what's it called? Computer scientist. I was like, you can code. They code, right?
Something like it.
So it's her fault.
It's her project. Like she's the designer of most of it, right? I designed just the mechanics of the programming part of it.
And why did you guys choose Breath of Fire as a spiritual successor for Tears of Magic of all the games around?
The funny thing is, like I said, the project didn't start out as it wasn't their aim to become a Breath of Fire successor, but as the story progressed with the dragons, the main character a dragon, it became like, we're going to Breath of Fire, isn't it?
Also, the people that followed us started pointing out, oh, it looks like it could be a Breath of Fire game and everything.
Oh, I see. So
and then we dived in and okay, let's do it.
Original, nice. That's awesome. So it wasn't a Breath of Fire spirit of success from the go.
Actually have anything like when Breath of Fire 6 got announced back in 2013 and I saw what they had done. I got so angry. I remember I made a fan of Ryu giving the middle finger.
No, that's awesome.
No, I didn't like 6.
So what do you guys think are unique about Tears of Magic? I saw all the Kickstarter. There are so many awesome features, like in the combat, the geo effects, the tag attacks. But what about? I want to hear from you guys, your words of what's unique about Tears of Magic from other RPGs.
Well, first, I guess I should talk about the core dynamics of our that we designed for a game. We have two core dynamics, two main things that guide our decisions. That are basically the RPG, roleplay, and adventure. By adventure, I mean we have to always keep the player excited for what comes next. Be it like, what's the next piece of lore that I'm going to receive? What's the next music I'm going to hear? What's the next image, graphic of next town? What's the architecture of the next town? Next people, next race, like what they eat, how do they wear? Which means there can't be much repetition. You need to be always introducing new features. The fans can get excited to explore the world and learn more about the Tears of Magic. That's the first thing I get. The second one is the roleplay elements, meaning that you write your own story. You're not playing the story of someone else's book, but that's you. You are the main character. And that's a difference from traditional JRPGs, because with JRPGs, you follow the script. Like you are Cloud or someone else. And here, you're you. And you're going to be able to personalize both your appearance, like you can be black, white, male, female, neutral, whatever you want to be, like it's fine. And you can change the color of your hair. You can change your personality. When each character is created, you choose one personality trait. For example, I'm going to be a brave character, or I'm going to be shy, or I'm going to be entertaining. And that affects your options. Like if you are entertained, it's going to be more jokes for options for you to answer like dialogues. If you're someone more like cautious, then it's gonna be options like less brave options, like and the more you choose those options, you can gain all the traits that will modify again. That helps you get replayability, and each playthrough will be different. If you play with your character, it's gonna be different from she playing with her character. It's your story. You write the way you want. That's our goal for the game. Other than that, let me see. I'm gonna tell a bit of what is a similarity to Breath of Fire. We have the obviously main character is a dragon. The world is full of animal-based people, human. So it's also one of the things that, sorry, but Breath of Fire, they kind of abandoned that spirit of Breath of Fire 2, 3, or 4. They didn't follow much in the fifth, and the sixth one doesn't count. So, and we don't think, even if there was a Breath of Fire 7, they would come back to that essence. We believe that they, especially the pixel art, they don't even have any games with pixel art anymore.
I think it's because pixel art is expensive.
Yeah, because pixel art is expensive. So, and to be honest, I think a great part of Breath of Fire comes from the pixel art style. It was one of the best of the time, and very beautiful. Good thing you have shit to make some quality art. So those things like animal-based race instead of having elves, orcs, it's way more colorful, especially when they have personalities that are like well defined. And then you have like the unique elements, like each clan can have, for example, not everyone from the clan has the same personality. They have to have a different nuance, different appearance. Like you can have in the dog clan, in the Luna Fang clan. You're gonna have some that look like a bulldog, some that look like a poodle. Because animals are... Yeah, I want to look like a chihuahua. That's the magic of having a world making of animals, because we humans can see way more difference in animals than humans are. The difference between even from the most different ethnicities is not so big. But when you put fish, there are lots of different types of fish to work around. That makes the world more interesting. If you understand what I mean. And I even forgot what the question was, what makes your game unique. Oh yeah. So, but we don't own the IP of Breath of Fire. So all the race of the world, all the lore, the story, you're gonna see that they are not the same Breath of Fire. What our goal is, it's a game that could be what Breath of Fire 7 would have been if they followed like what 2, 3, or 4. But it's a Breath of Fire. There's no Ryu, there's no Nina, there's no Wind.
Okay.
Similar place. We have Zephyr, which is a town for the Sky Clan. But the culture of Zephyr is completely different from the culture of Wind. You understand what I mean? It's a different set of words because we need to have our own identity. I also get cancelled. And then there's mechanic-wise, I guess it's there. If you got interested in any kind of mechanic, I can tell more in details about it.
How long have you guys been developing the Tears of Magic? Because it looks like a lot of work has been done already.
Yeah, the entire concept stage and story stage already done. So, like, I started writing the story again. It was in 2018, and then have been a long concept developing the story and the world took quite some time.
Yeah.
Now we're going to development stage to make the concept a reality.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Can I imagine it's gonna be like Jesus for Eleanor? It's got to be quite challenging to create all those branching narrative paths because there are so many moral choices and personality-wise. You're gonna have like
quite a ride.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big game. So how long do you think a playthrough is gonna take on Tears of Magic?
I think between 20 to 30 to be the average. So if you explore more, it could take more. If you explore less, it depends. But that's what happens in your mind.
Awesome. Yeah, and I couldn't help but notice that you guys managed to bring Yoshino Aoki in to write some song for you guys. Tell me, how did you guys get in touch? How did you guys?
We actually looked at we looked her up on we first Google, and then we realized that she had her own studio these days. And then we reached out to her. We had no idea if she actually would respond to us. We used a small indie team. We had no idea. We just, is she available? Does she want to work?
Press start the work. Well, she seems to have liked the work. We discussed commercial deal, and that's fine. So it was how to say. She was into the project, we were into her.
Yeah, it was a match. Did you guys try to get in touch with other Breath of Fire veterans or no?
It's tried to get in touch with the artist, but he's actually very hard to get contact info of.
Oh
It's
yeah.
really hard. Like, yeah, I haven't actually been able to find his contact info at all. Like, yeah, I don't know.
And some of the devs were not even worth searching for because they're working like in
Monster
Hunter. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be game.
Yeah, like I'm gonna work with these guys on the side now.
So I don't know. You first started to write the game not based on Breath of Fire, but then fans started to compare it to Breath of Fire. And do you think because of the comparison, you brought in even more references to the inspirational material, or you think it's more a Tears of Magic rather than a Breath of Fire game? Would you say?
I would say I have a middle ground there because we, the more the supporters, the people that follow us start giving input, feedback, we could feel that they really want a new Breath of Fire game. They really want several features from Breath of Fire games.
Yeah.
But on the the closer you get, the more you get for not being your own identity, being just a fun game or just a clone, which can't become like can't have sequels or anything like that. Would they be taken down? We're creating a company. This is not going to be our first game, or I mean, this is not going to be our last game. So, how to say it? We wanted to succeed and take their or ideal world is that when we release the Tears of Magic, instead of people saying like we're waiting for a new Breath of Fire, they say we're waiting for a new Tears of Magic.
Yes, exactly.
What happened, for example, in Stardew Valley, that they managed to
take their own identity, even if they are heavily moon inspired, heavily.
But to believe our game has more difference to Breath of Fire than Harvest Moon has to Stardew Valley to Harvest Moon, for example. We have the choice, like forge your personality, craft system for items. You can put runes in an item, and if you put in a certain order or certain types of runes, they can combine into an enchantment. It's something similar to rune words from Diablo, for example. So, to implement, and we hope that people like it.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they will. I already love it. Well, ever since so far I've been seeing. So this moral choice you guys are bringing from, I saw you on the Kickstarter from Mass Effect and Dragon Age, right? The future. Yeah.
Actually, out for a game called Crusader Kings. I like the game Crusader Kings. Like a personality and have some traits. It's more a role play game, but instead of a war game. And then you're living like nobles, and there are conflicts. So that idea of each card have their own personality, maybe give like, oh, why don't you have it in the RPG and they change the option? Because every time you see like a Baldur's Gate, Mass Effect, and Dragon Age, they have the same option no matter what happens.
It's always kind, joking, and serious usually.
Yeah, but they don't change, like your personality doesn't change the game. You can obviously play same personality the entire game, but it's not like the options are going to change because we chose too many funny jokes. I mean, but in our game, we want like, no, after some point you learn that trait, you get the trait, and then even the characters, your allies, when they're party banter, like random things that they can throw during the exploration, will be influenced by that. Like saying, oh, there comes the coward again. I don't know.
Let's
couches.
Okay. Let's talk about dragons, because well, we all love dragons, and I saw the dragons transformations are gonna be changed based on your personality. Is that right?
Change based on personality? No, affinity.
No. Affinity. Oh yeah.
The dragon system, it works like dragons. They can borrow the power of allies to absorb a few traits in the transformation. So to borrow that thing, you can't take it forcefully. You need to have certain level of affinity to get the form.
Like there's two things. You have the traits thing they have, like, and then you have their affinity. Like they have a fire, and then you have their trait that you can absorb.
Yeah. So you have like first you choose a form. That to unlock the form, you need the affinity of the ally, and then you can put traits in, for example, fire to make like a dragon become ice, or you can put like strength, might, or whatever. can have a dragon that. And also, one thing with transformation that you don't lose a round to transform into a dragon. When you transform into a dragon, you obviously transform, but you also, let's say you transform into a fire dragon, then it goes up in the sky, it's out diving and spitting fire like a fire breath in them. So it's a pretty spell.
To signature attack, it casts that automation.
Or and there are some dragons that are actually other types, not only damage dealer, but some are based like like they can make the enemies attacking like a taunt. Others can have support abilities, like the fairy dragon release a fairy dust, and then any ally that attack those enemies with fairy dust, you take like make it explode. Poof, poof. So there are different styles depending on what traits you put. Like if you put might with power, it's gonna be more like damage oriented. Depending on what you do.
Yes.
That's right. Like there can be one that when you transform into dragon, you heal the entire party. And then also transform, you can use other skills after transform. But the idea is of the game is we noticed that one of the things that people are running away from turn-based games these days is because of low pace. They notice that it takes too long to start a combat, and sometimes it takes too long to end a combat too. So most of our challenges are made to make combats shorter, but without losing the essence of turn-based combat. So we try to reduce the engaging time. That's why there's no transition. You want everyone to be ready for after 2 or 3 seconds, and then the same for going out of combat. You want the character, like if you two characters attack the same target, for example, let's say basic attack. Instead of one attacking, then jumping back, the second attack, they attack together. It merge and become a flank attack. So it's only one animation, and the damage is like the sum plus some bonus. Like it can also give some effect. Like if you combine it, you attack from Chrono Trigger, for example.
Perfect.
The point is because of the animation is only one, they do it together, then it becomes fast. It's one of the features that we felt increase the pace of the battles. And there are also short, like you can save combats to short keys, even in the joystick. For example, in a PlayStation joystick, would be the square and triangle. You can save commands in it. It can be an item, a skill, just to use it faster. So you press a button and it automatically uses instead of having to go through the menu to find the skill. You think also about the quality of life improvements that RPGs should have these days, or maybe you're gonna be frustrated later, but that's why there's better tests.
At least you're trying, right? Yeah. Awesome. So let's make the dream come true. Tell me more about the Kickstarter. What are your stretch goals, and what do players get from funding the project?
I didn't hear the last part. What was the last part?
Oh, what do players get from funding the project on Kickstarter?
Oh, okay, so other than the things that are already revealed, like they have first place to understand that we are not a big team like the teams from Asia, Euden Chronicles. They already started full teams, and they have enough fame and media that easily in the first day they got millions of dollars already in funding. So our first goal with the Kickstarter is first allow us to go full time in the development, because right now we have to work only partial time because I need to eat. We have to pay for the composers, like Bock and Travis Mober, which is very good. Travis Mober, you're gonna hear his music soon. And from the stretch goals, which are always linked to check the things, to hire another person, like hire a UE artist, a user interface artist. It can be a pixel art, another one to reduce the load on Eleanor, or can be a 3D artist to make more objects, or we would like some artists to make it, for example, normal maps and height maps into the pixel art, give a better illusion of 3D. So other things that we could do, but it's fun. And then that's for our side. That's what we gain. The Kickstarter, the backers obviously gonna get a better game if they fund more. Other than that, they'll get a personal customization system, like advanced customization. It means extra hairstyles, extra skins for the protagonists.
Console port.
Huh?
The console port.
Console ports, yeah, the first console port. We really want to reach that because, but people are asking a lot. We also want to reach. There are people that are really interested in mod support to allow people to change, for example,
Mod.
or sites to put what they want and make like a variation of the game. So that's one of. You still need to make animation, lots of sprites to mod, but still, it's nice if they have to do like legally without coming and ripping the game, because they can control to make their experience and the players more enjoyable. And then random plus extra mini games like a card game. There are lots of things that we could have, but need to reach. For example, to have extra hairstyles, extra clothes styles, we need some art because it's extra work.
And it's like that, like if I'm animating, for example, more hair, someone has to do background texture, for example, in the meantime, so it doesn't stop development in another area.
Yeah. Can you hear properly?
Sorry?
Could you hear properly when she spoke?
Yeah, I could.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, then basically that we want to give like a new game plus. We would want, for example, beat the game, and each enemy now are gonna have one random skill from any enemy in the game. They're gonna, so it gets a bit harder, and you don't know what they're gonna get. It's a random thing to give some kind of playability, so people have fun. And the same so randomize it could be, for example, to the characters to have random skills, so random elements. Also, one thing that we didn't talk much about the evolution system of skills. Because you get a skill, for example, let's say Benji, that people got to know her already. Called Rejuvenate. Heal health per round, it's basically a heal over time. But then you, after you can gain points, you put points to upgrade that skill into Empower. So if it overheals, if it heals more than the maximum health per life, it gives a buff to damage. Or you have another path that goes to I don't remember the name, but gives an extra tick of healing the first in the first cast. So because now we normally use it, but it doesn't heal instantly, and then you can upgrade it. Gives an instant heal in the first tick of the heal over time, the first round, and then they can combine later. Like doesn't need to be a tree that just opens, but also can close and merge so you can have both effects plus some strength in one.
That's awesome.
Also happen with the mentor system. The mentor system, you get like first the base, and then he gives new quests for you. Each task gives one level of the monsters. Like when you learn skill from that's not for Kaiser. When you learn skill from the enemy, if you learn two from the same category, they merge and give you an extra point, like a evolution. You go for the next level. That's or how we envision the skill system of our game.
So you can make different builds from the same characters, right? Like the Masters system, Breath of Fire 4 and 3.
But we want the different paths to be just in the beginning. We think that later we should have everything normally for like when you're in the later level, close to go and defeat the last boss. Everyone has to be very strong.
Oh, that looks so good. And you guys also have a Patreon that players can back up if they want to, right?
A picture of what?
A Patreon. You guys also have a Patreon.
Oh, Patreon.
Which is actually one of the things that we managed to grow a bit on Patreon. So even if you don't reach some, you might be able to fund it yourself with the Patreon money, which is actually pretty good.
That's awesome.
So, they also have some, they have our quality control. I will show things to them first.
Then they're complaining. You don't like that, but he went so fast. They slow it down. Okay.
Nice.
I call him Picky.
So yeah, the Patreon is actually used for that, for expanding what or reach after Kickstarter. What to do, for example. If you don't reach ports, it doesn't mean you're not gonna port to consoles. It's just gonna be harder. You're gonna time because maybe it's not gonna be ported at launch.
Yeah.
So, but with time, we might be able to do it on our own.
Eventually, right? And when do you guys expect the game to be launched?
2023.
No, that's the truth.
Oh, fuck yeah! 25!
Yeah, our plans to have a development cycle 2 to 3 years, depending on how much you get in the Kickstarter. The extras are high. Like if you don't hire no one, just I think it's gonna last like 3 years or so. So with Patreon plus 2 years of the thing, maybe can reach. We will reach actually. If you get like extra hands, maybe 2 years. So it all depends on what you're gonna get. Get an extra artist. It's our bottleneck now because pixel art and animation, they really consume a lot of time. So she has to do that as well as the animation for the animation, the texture for objects, and the 3D models, all that. So get that would help a lot, and that's what we're aiming.
Yeah, I hope it's sooner than later. Yeah, can you guys promise that if you have a demo, open beta, can you guys promise that I will get a key to play and test the game?
We're gonna get a demo or prototype in the next few weeks. Like we plan to have the third week for that, and that'll be open for public so they can get a feeling of the game.
Oh, that's awesome.
We just recently the concept stage of the game, so we're in early development. It's gonna be a demo or prototype, mostly like for you to move around, see how the world is, see a experience better for the first time, check like how to say it, interact with someone, see like the lake, just small things. Not a full representation of the game yet, just a scene that we put for people to test.
I still remember one person say like, or one of our patrons was like, if you don't have fishing in the game, but you still want the harbor fill it with crabs. Just have crabs everywhere.
And you guys are gonna get the feedback from the players and just implement it.
Yeah, it's incrementally increasing, put more knowledge. That's the plan.
Awesome. Do you guys want to add anything else about Tears of Magic, about the Kickstarter?
We just want to ask people to, if they still can't, don't feel like it's gonna be a thing, and they're feel, I don't know if I should donate or not. Join the Discord server, see how the development's going. How ask anything you want there. We are always open. I answer 100% of questions asked there. We are answering.
Yeah, you see the development going like steadily. You see anything adding there because you don't always put everything on Twitter, but if you put it on the Discord.
Yeah. So if you're in doubt, check, and we believe you're gonna like it.
No, that's pretty reasonable. I'm gonna share your social medias later to everyone who wants to get better acquainted with Tears of Magic. Okay. And I think our time is running short, right? You guys have to go.
Yeah, I need to pick up our kids in 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Well, Dan is out. Thanks again. I'm gonna be rooting for Tears of Magic to break and surpass the Kickstarter funding goal. And if I may be so bold, whenever you port the game to consoles, please no missable trophies. Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks again, Denzel. Thank you so much.
See you next time.
See you next time.
The game's more advanced.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I know we're gonna meet sooner or later in the future. Okay. Thank you. Best of success to you guys.
See you around.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye bye.